Here we go. We are here with Aleine from Elite Self Coaching with my self coach JD. Aleine, what's up, man? Look at
Yeah,
this
dude.
champ. This guy right here is a champ on the other side of the camera. Oh my God. We're gonna get into every juicy details about how he became his elite self. Um, in a span of 6 months, and it's amazing. Like we just went through his goals and achievements and everything, and I'm mind blown. So let's get this started. Aleine, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself, professional and personal as well. Anything you'd like to share?
And I'm Alan Paladin. Professionally, I work in a global pharmaceutical company. I've been there for about 15 years now, and I'm enjoying my job. So outside, I'm a very active person. I mean, I like outdoors. Obviously, I like cycling. I do hike, I ski, um, I do paddleboard. I box before, and
Oh,
then play tennis. So I try to get myself busy and enjoy the outdoors whenever I can. So, and then I live here in Houston, Texas. I used to live in Vancouver, Canada, because of work, and I transferred here. So, yep.
Canada
So,
misses you, man. Sorry, your audio cut off a little.
guys, I mean, I said I miss Canada.
Yeah, but you travel quite a bit, right? So you visit a little bit. Yeah, cool.
Too. I traveled for work a lot. Like I traveled at least twice or three times a month, both Western Canada and also United States.
Nice, nice. Okay. So you're a pretty active guy and you travel a lot. So how do you balance all of that?
Whenever I travel and then I find myself time, I do stuff around. Like it's I just go outside, venture the new place, and then whenever I'm home, I try to make time for myself
Mm,
and includes my hobbies. Being outdoor. I mean, I have to be outdoor, otherwise, it's just not me. Not being confined.
of course, of course. Oh my, the pandemic must have been a disaster then for you, eh? Oh, okay, cool. So with let's talk a little bit about before joining Elite Self Coaching. So what did you used to struggle with?
Before, during my cycling training, I felt like my training was very fragmented. So I do have a cycling coach that does basically just training me for cycling. That's all he does. And um, and I reach a plateau wherein I cycle, but then I get too tired easily. So I know something was missing. It's either nutrition, it's either other that make yourself a whole. And then, yeah, there will come a point that I don't want to train anymore because I'm not motivated. So then my diet was not stable. Like example, if I do train, after training, the next stop I have is just to eat, 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 and eat. Because, I mean, I have no control. I don't know what's going on with my body. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So that where like I go up and down, like a yo-yo diet. And, sometimes I'm motivated, sometimes I'm not motivated. That was a struggle for me, being a cyclist.
and how long have you been like in that process?
Oh, it's been a while, probably about a year, 2 years,
Wow. Okay.
2 years. The thing was our team got the regional team got dissolved, and then we have new people that came up, new coaches that came up, and the way they coach us is very fragmented. It's very individual. Well, it's not as a whole, but they just focus on one aspect, and then they don't care about the other aspect.
I see. Okay, that's what you meant by fragmented. Yeah, yeah. So they basically there was something missing.
Something missing in there. Like I don't know that time whether Is it nutrition? Is it my habit? Is it motivational? Is it the psych? So yeah, something was missing that time because there comes a point that I don't want to train anymore. And I
Mm.
said, okay, I'm on my 50s. That's it. Like I don't want to cycle anymore. Yeah. But then I said, no, that's not me. So I love cycling. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's so Zach through social media. And then I messaged him and then, we talk about what does lead self coaching does.
Yeah, yeah. And then what was the pre-frame of elite self-coaching?
Oh, like, he basically said that we don't train you only physically, but we train you as a whole. So he told me about motivational videos. He told me about, and then he asked me about, you know, what do you struggle like now? You asked me what I struggle. And then he said, oh, we can cover that. So yeah. And that was a big selling point for me, why I joined Elite Self.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have a coach before at the gym.
Mm.
Then you know how it is at the gym. You are scheduled for a certain time at the gym. Being a busy person, sometimes I can't commit to that time. With elite self coaching, you can do it at your own time. You're responsible for yourself. You're motivated to do it. Like whatever outcome that you see to yourself, it's you doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's more like it's an online coaching platform where you're gonna have a coach constantly in your pockets, and you can get, accountability and support directly. So that's why one reason why I do this now. I used to be an online in-person coach before, and the reason why I do this now is because now I can help people like you, anytime, anywhere, and it's very versatile. So, and you've achieved a lot. So we'll get that into that in a bit. But talk to me about when you started the program, what was your long-term and short-term goals when you started?
Short-term goals before was just, hey, I want to finish the bike race in Spain. That's all I wanted to do before.
That was in
So,
October 2024.
so I think I started before that and everything, right? And then along the way, I see how different Elite Self was. Then after I finished 11 in the race in Spain, then I said, okay, I'm going to continue. Um, Basically, I told Zach, I will sign up because I have good results with elite self coaching, and
Yeah,
then long term goal basically is to stay healthy, um, improve my my physique, yeah, and just continue what I'm doing right now. So improve my cycling performance. So
yeah, yeah. And I just want to touch back on you finishing 11th in that 3-day race. That's no small feat because it was against 80 contestants.
yeah, it's 80.
So the way you said it was like you were burying it a little, but I like to just make sure the viewers notice how big this is. Out of 80 contestants, Aleine was able to finish 11th out of in a race that took 3 days. Like that's crazy. Yeah, like you saw day and night constantly.
I saw the day I was biking nighttime. I slept under the tree. I slept in a vacant building.
Wow. And you know what? You were mentioning to me that the hardest part was the mental aspect of it, eh?
Mental aspect because you're out there in the desert, you're biking, and then you come to think, why am I doing this? And then there were few times that you wanted to quit.
Hmm.
Then I said, no, I'm not gonna quit. I mean, I prepared for this, and there's people that are buying me to finish this. So I just keep going and going.
talk to me talk to me a little bit about that mindset that you had, that it got to a point like where you wanted to quit, but what got you through it?
Oh, so I have a technique wherein I divided all the miles into five segments. So the first segment, I can do it, and then I don't see it as a whole race, a whole total of miles. I divide it into five different segments. If I finish one segment, then I can finish the next segment, then I can finish the next segment, and so on until I finish. Yeah. So that was my psyche before. That was my tactic. A lot of people, they think like, okay, we're biking like 600 miles or 700 miles. They think about it as a whole. They don't divide this into segments. So
Yeah.
um,
And
a pro cyclist that he told me like, yeah, all you have to do is divide it into segments and you should get it. Yeah.
nice, nice. And so that technique it's actually interesting. I want to unpack that a little bit, because when you started in July 2024, you knew that you wanted to do the cycling event in October 2024. So that technique, I feel like it could be applied to anything. So during the period where you were getting ready for that race, did you find yourself like implementing that technique in any aspect? Like, for example, saying, "Oh, it's all the way in April." No, you divide it like maybe within months or weeks.
Yeah, I think it also applies, whatever what we do. Um, it will not happen overnight. You will not build from 0 to 100. You have to build up in small steps.
Mm.
So just like, if you want to improve your health condition or your performance in any way, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to do it in small segments, like one step at a time.
Great. Awesome.
Um, that's one of the errors of some people, like, okay, I work out right now and then tomorrow I'm going to be, I'll look different. So it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, they want fast results, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But typically fast results, it's contextual on the goal that you want. And there's some ways that you could get a little bit faster results, like with a nutrition plan and a good blueprint of working out. So talk to me a little bit about how that experience was for you in this program.
And again, like, this program is, it's more um, like as a whole, it focused not only, in improving yourself physically, but what I found out, uh, Elite Self, it also focused you as a whole person.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, like, you taught me about diet. You taught me about habits. Yeah. And then the variety of exercises that I've learned from it itself, it's different when I was with a one-on-one person. Like, so
Nice. So all those instructional videos, eh?
yeah. So like I was looking at the videos, like, how come I don't know this? I mean, I've been going to the gym for so long, but like, okay, how come I don't know this? So yeah, there's variety that you cannot get bored, in all the exercises.
That's
And
awesome.
one also it itself is because I joined it itself not to become a bodybuilder, and then you train me to become a better son. And that's who I am. I mean, I don't need to become bulky and whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So train me as a cyclist. How do you look better as a cyclist, not as a bodybuilder? So that was my goal while I joined it itself, because you basically personalize my goal from what I wanted, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to hear that, man. And you've achieved. Let me just read this for a second, because you started at 250 watts. So that's the power output when you're cycling. 253 watts is where you started, and then now you're at 320 watts. That's a huge power output increase. It's crazy. So I'm so proud of you. You've done amazing, and you were on top of every single week. That's one thing that sets you apart as well, is that you just kept on going. You didn't take excuses. You didn't make excuses, and then you just did what I asked you to do, and this is the result. You got stronger, you got more durable for your cycling events, and yeah, like you said, I gave you some habits. What was one of the habits that you found helped you?
Help me. Drinking water actually and meditation. That's what it is. Like, you give me
Water
like
and
10
meditation.
times I find myself doing like a 20-minute or 30-minute meditation.
Ah, and you didn't used to do that.
No, I didn't used to do that. Like I'm like again, I'm a busy person, travel for work and everything. So I tend to forget like shutting myself like
Mm.
a few minutes, and doing meditation, it does helps me to recharge.
Yeah, so recharge, like how did it help you with like recharge? What did you feel?
I felt like my mind is fresh. It's like it's not a nap, but it's taking like awake nap. You're awake, and then it's just shutting your mind off from everything. Yeah. And that helps to calm down yourself. So yeah. So I find it very useful.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that helped because we need to learn how to shut off for a couple of minutes within the day because otherwise all that stress just piles up on top of each other and then it impacts your ability of doing tasks like your workouts, keeping your nutrition on check and things like that. So I'm very happy that helped you, man. All right, so with what was what was different or unique about the Elite Self program?
Uh yeah, and again, there's variety on the program that you showed me. That's one thing I like. I did not experience plateau at all.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm always looking forward, okay, what's the exercise for today? And then if I'm not familiar with it, I look at it and then for me it's like a new discovery. Like every time I have a new program. So
Awesome. Love it. I love it. And what are the top three things that you learned
um
program?
top I've learned um again the meditation, I've learned that. The habits. In fact, I also added a habit that was not on our checklist. I think I told you about this. Like I'm sober now for this is my second month, going to 3 months sober.
Nice.
So yeah, never, so do that. And I found out that it does help my performance, my sleep. Yeah. So it was good.
Yeah,
And then
we did talk about that. I remember that call. We spoke about how dehydrated and how tired and how your sleep quality was impacted just by, consuming alcohol. So that's great. That's awesome.
I sleep and then my the quality of breath that I get being sober is different than when I was drinking before.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that again, the variety of exercises that you showed me, that's one thing I like most.
Cool. Awesome. Great. And so at the start, why did you invest in the Elite Self program?
It itself offers you overall workout and health programs. I found out that the programs are evidence based. So in fact, I researched like, okay, this and this, and now it's like, okay, this is evidence based, and it not only promotes you like health wise through exercises, but also it promotes self improvement through the videos that Zach like uploaded. So and I do watch them occasionally, and it does motivate. It gives you motivation.
That's awesome. That's great. So that's the holistic part that you were looking for. That's the holistic aspect you were missing. Yeah. Cool. And so let's say hypothetically there's you know that there's other people that are maybe on the fence of joining a program like this. What would you advise someone about, deciding to invest in themselves in a program like this?
Um, right. So I've known people who delayed or very hesitant about investing to health programs. Um, my my thing is, as we get older in age, and then if we tend to be inactive and we don't invest um, early enough on our health maintenance, that could be a problem in the future. So I think the key is we need to invest to our health now rather than later. And then, if we do it later, we might have some problems, and that will be disadvantage.
Yeah.
So
Coming back to what you were saying in the beginning, that you were struggling with, low motivation and not really working out as much and cycling. You were in that process for about 1 or 2 years, you mentioned, right?
years, and I was about to quit.
Mm.
Yeah, I quit, and then I said like, no, I'm not going to quit. So
Yeah, making that decision to invest in yourself to keep on going, because there's two roads, right? So there's the route of quitting and just deteriorating, or pushing yourself, because time is going to fly by regardless.
right. So yeah. So the key is you have to invest it now rather than later. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, through exercises and like programs to improve your health rather than delay.
And how does that impact other aspects in your personal life and work life?
Work life. I feel more energized right now. I feel like I have a balance. Um, I feel like I don't know. It just build your self confidence. Like you know that you can do this. You have achieved this. It builds your self confidence. So that's a good thing with it.
That's huge. Yeah. Yeah. Self-confidence comes from just doing the work, committing to the promise you made to yourself. So,
Yep.
yeah. And so if you were to compare yourself right now and when you started, like what is the biggest difference?
The biggest difference. I have more energy right now. Yeah.
Mm,
My performance right now. I mean, even my coach said, yeah, that your performance like it improved dramatically. So
nice. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. Now, what's next for you? What's next for Alan?
X more races.
Or races? Yes, there's one coming up in 2025, March and April, right?
So now I'm scheduled to do 4 races, 2025 so far. There's one in March, two in April, and one in June. There's probably more come, like sometime in August and October, but those are not planned yet. But right now, it's like there's 4 races coming up that it's already on a lineup.
Cool. Awesome. And what's the goal for those? Getting to 360 watts per for 20 minutes?
So the Grand Fondo is the most hardest one because it's like 120 miles in one stop. It's
Mm.
basically it like really racing 120 miles with you know.
Well, you were mentioning to me that you can do 120 miles within the week, right? So now we got to compress that all into how long?
Probably about 2 hours, 3 hours.
2 hours, 3 hours. Okay, okay, it's doable. It's doable. We're gonna work towards that. That's awesome. So with one more thing I wanted to mention is that like your body composition did also change. So how do you feel about that?
Feel good. Yeah. Being a cyclist, like the lighter, the better.
Mm.
Oh, I started 176. I remember 176, 177. This morning I weighed myself. It's 167. My goal is from 160 to 165 by probably by February or March.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's get to it. Perfect. Awesome. I got one request from you, Alan. Let's do a double bicep pose now.
I don't know, but I suppose like
Yeah, there it is. Awesome, man. Hey, it was a pleasure working with you. It's thank you for doing the recording as well. And much more success to come. You're gonna kill it in those cycling events. I know it because your commitment and determination in this program has been top. And I know you're gonna get to your goal of your body weight goal, your power output, and hey, let's go for that gold medal. Awesome. Okay, so that was Alan, and yeah, this was Coach JD signing off. And you gotta just like Alan said, invest in yourself. Just invest in yourself. Do it now. Cool. Sorry.
the word is now.
Yes, exactly. Now, perfect. Awesome, man. Hey, so we'll cut the video off here and have yourself a great rest of your morning, afternoon, night, wherever it is, what time it is that you saw this video. Awesome. Take care.